Hi, I'm Andy Peel from CCDC, and welcome to this video on visualizing disorder in Mercury. This tutorial features the Disorder Analyser tool, which is available in the 2023.2 release of CSD software and subsequent releases. Disorder is a very common feature in crystal structures and is challenging both to visualize and to handle in analysis. The Disorder Analyser provides comprehensive control over the display of disorder assemblies and groups in a disordered crystal structure and is compatible with many other functionalities in Mercury. In this video, we will cover using the Disorder Analyser to visualize disordered structures. To begin with, we define a disorder assembly as a cluster of atoms that show long-range positional disorder but are locally ordered. Within each cluster of atoms, a disorder group is used to identify the sites that are simultaneously occupied. Let's open Mercury to get started. First, we will examine two curated CSD entries. To view a CSD entry in the database, type the refcode identifier in the Structure Navigator. In this example, CSD entry ABALIC, there is no disorder present, and the Disorder Analyser says none. Moving to the second example, CSD entry ABALIB, we see that there is disorder of the substituted pyrrolidine ring. This disorder constitutes one assembly with two groups. Because of the way that disorder is currently handled in the CSD, the second group, which has a lower occupancy, is suppressed, and there are no bonds between the atoms in this disorder group. We can confirm this by selecting Color by Element or Suppression. The suppressed atoms are highlighted. We can also display the occupancy of each atomic site. For clarity, we will display occupancy for carbon atoms only. Tick Show Labels for carbon atoms with occupancy, where we can see the disconnected group of atoms has a low occupancy of 20%. The Disorder Analyser labels the assembly A and shows two dots, one smaller and one larger for the minor and major occupancies respectively. Pressing the button simply switches off the display of the suppressed group, leaving only the major component visible. When looking at CIF files, the Disorder Analyser provides comprehensive treatment of different disorder types. The CIF files used in the remaining examples can be downloaded from the link in the video description. Alternatively, you can download all CIF files from Access Structures using the refcode identifiers given with each example. To load multiple CIFs, go to the File menu and select Open, then select all CIFs. Alternatively, you can drag and drop them into the visualizer area. They will appear in the Structure Navigator near the bottom. Let's look at another example of a single disorder assembly, but with the structure loaded directly from a CIF file. CSD entry FEKHOW is a polymeric structure with positional disorder of one of the linker molecules. Upon loading, both disorder groups are visible, and bonded atoms are displayed within each disorder group. The Disorder Analyser again labels the one disorder assembly A, and there are two dots, one for each of the disorder groups. Both dots are filled, indicating that all disorder groups are visible. Large dots are displayed for occupancy greater than 60%, while small dots are for occupancy less than 40%. Medium-sized dots are for intermediate occupancy. Clicking the two dots once leaves only the large dot filled and displays only the major occupancy group. In this case, enabling occupancy labels show this is 67% occupancy. Clicking the button once more switches to the smaller dot and displays only the minor occupancy group. Further clicks will simply switch the visible disorder groups again. To view all groups again, press All. Opening the CIF file of CSD entry JAXGUO shows a similar scenario, except the two dots for the two disorder groups are of the same size. This indicates that they have more equal occupancy, in this case 56% to 44%. In the next example, from CSD entry GEHFAE, there are two disorder assemblies labelled A and B, each with two disorder groups of unequal occupancy. Clicking either of the assemblies will show the combination consisting of the first disorder group of each assembly. Subsequently, clicking the button for each assembly will only switch between disorder groups in that assembly. The Disorder Analyzer can also handle disorder about special positions. A common example is a toluene molecule disordered about a center of inversion. This can be seen in CSD entry AJEFAY. Toggling the Disorder Analyzer button switches between the two symmetry-related disorder groups of the toluene. Moving on, CSD entry GAZJAW shows substitutional disorder. The substitutional disorder is pronounced. For example, disorder assemblies C and F involve chlorine and bromine substitution, whilst D, E, G and H involve lithium and cobalt. Nonetheless, each disorder assembly involves only two groups. Our last example, from CSD entry JAZPOT, includes one assembly, F, featuring three disorder groups, one with the major occupancy of 85% and the other two with minor occupancies of 9% and 6% respectively. Toggling the Disorder Analyzer button iterates through each of the disorder groups sequentially. To summarize, the Disorder Analyzer tool offers powerful options to visualize disorder of various types within Mercury in a very flexible way. To see how the Disorder Analyzer can be used in combination with other functionality in Mercury, see the video linked in the description and at the end of this video. We hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.